pickinglessons.com. The Boys of Malin, this is a fantastic Irish reel. It's in the key of A, so we're capoed up for that. There are 3 parts and we're using the melodic technique. It's a really fast one, so we really want to make sure that we get to know the tune well. And in a moment, we're going to break down part A of the arrangement here in this video. But if you head to pickinglessons.com, you can grab yourself a copy of the tablature, and in the member section there, we'll break down the remaining parts in the lesson as well, and you'll have play along and backing tracks once you do get to know it. Okay, so 3 parts. We're going to have a look at part A here. Part A is only 4 bars that repeats. Part B is 8 bars, a little different on each half. And then part C is 4 bars that repeats as well. So we've got 4 bars to learn. Firstly, make sure you're in standard G tuning, but capo up to fret 2, because that will put us in the key of A. And then your 5th string needs to be adjusted. So if you've got spikes, fret 7. Otherwise you can tune it up to an A and that's fine. Now we're playing a lot out of this scale position here, which in this case is the A scale. But let's keep referring to all this as if it was G, just referencing against the capo. So essentially it's that G melodic scale position that we've covered in a bunch of lessons at pickinglessons.com. So make sure you're familiar with that because it's really going to help. The opening section here, so we're up at that 7th fret with your 3rd finger and we just run through the scale. And just a brief little reminder on technique for this. So in the right hand with this melodic stuff, when we play a higher string, we're going to use a finger. When we play a lower string, we use a thumb. So for example, open G, back to string 4 with the thumb. Open B, back to string 3 with your thumb. Open D there, string 5 with your thumb. So we kind of have this crisscross that actually flows really well. Yeah, so that's all part of that melodic scale that I mentioned. So it's a good idea to have that under your fingers. But as we move on through, that open 5th string leads us into a forward roll. So let's just piece this first bar together. 3, 4, melodic scale, forward roll. 3, 4. As we hit measure 2, we're going to bar our first finger and cover this C position of the chord. And we're going to play through firstly with that thumb, middle, thumb, index, middle. Get rid of the first finger there on that 3rd beat open string. Then we're going to bring back our fingertip onto that 5th fret there as we run down the melodic scale. Same principle, thumb, higher string, finger, lower string, thumb. We'll move through because we have a little repeat essentially. So the 3rd bar has that same melodic run, but then a forward roll again, but this time from the G string. Yeah? Before we close it out on the repeat, just again bouncing around this melodic scale position. So. And notice the thumb again, so thumb, open string, thumb on the lower string, open strings higher, so finger and thumb. Quarter note, hold on to that. Open string, back to the thumb on the 7th fret. The second ending is slightly different because that's going to lead us into part B. But just have a little play through this section here before we finish up. So we've got 4 bars, we've got to play it through twice. The technique in this with the melodic is actually pretty straightforward, but bear in mind that these reels are played fast. So you want to get to know it really well and be really confident and comfortable with the technique. Let's just keep it slow and let's go through. We might go through twice because it is quite short. 1, 2, 3, 4. Barring position. Back to the scale. Forward roll. Quarter note and repeat. So we just played the same thing twice there. The second ending is going to be different as we lead into part B. Now, get to know that, remembering that the tempo is quite fast, so you do want to know it pretty well before you start to tackle that. So work on it slowly, work on building up the positioning that we have for that melodic scale, and we're okay with what's going on for the right hand. Picklessons.com, you can grab the tablature, but in the member section there, we will break down the remainder of the parts, B and C. There are 3 parts in total. We'll have a look at the techniques. We've got some challenging techniques actually in part B, and part C is pretty cruisy actually. So picklessons.com, I'll see you there.